Welcome to the unit on Hadoop administration. The agenda covers adding nodes to a cluster, verifying the health of a cluster, and stopping and starting components. Then the unit covers configuring Hadoop and setting up rack topology. Let's begin with adding and removing nodes from a cluster. Adding nodes can be performed from the Big Insights console or the command line. To do so requires either the IP address or the host name of the node to be added. The node to be added must also be reachable, and as a matter of fact, it works both ways. The master and child nodes must all be able to communicate with each other. In this case, a child node refers to the node that is being added. It may not have Big Insights already installed on it. When the node is added to the cluster, the Big Insights code is transferred to the node and installed. From the Big Insights console, you use the Cluster Status tab, and on the left side, select Nodes. You then click the Add Nodes push button. You are then presented with a dialog that allows you to specify one or more nodes to be added. You may type in IP addresses, host names, or any combination thereof. You can even specify an IP address range, or a regular expression with your host name. In the example, child5.ibm.com, child6.ibm.com, etc. would be added. Once the nodes have been added, you define which services are to be hosted on those nodes. You can select multiple services for one or more nodes. Services also can be removed from a node. As a matter of fact, if you're using the Big Insights console to remove a node, you must first remove all the services from that node. Depending on which services are running on the node, you select which ones are to be removed. When there are no services running on a node, it can be removed from the Big Insights console. All that we just said about adding and removing nodes can also be done from the command line. You use the addnode.sh script to add one or more nodes. Once again, either IP addresses or host names can be specified. You also specify which services are to run on the new nodes. In the example, the Hadoop service was specified. This means that the node will be used for a data node and a task tracker. Listnode.sh displays all of the nodes in the cluster and which services are running on those nodes. You can remove a service from a node using the removenode.sh script, and you can remove a node using that same script. In this case, you can remove a node even though it has a service running. Maybe not the best idea, but it is doable. At least you are prompted whether to continue. Next, let's discuss verifying the health of your cluster. You are able to view all of the nodes in the cluster, see the status of each node, and which services are running on each node. From the command line, you can run the DFS disk check report. This lets you see how much space is still available on each data node. Next, let's look at starting and stopping components and services. You may, in order to save some resources, only want to start a subset of the Hadoop components. From the command line, you can run the start.sh script and specify one or more components that are to be started. If you want to start all of the components, then you can execute the start-all sh script. Likewise, you can stop a subset of running components, and if you want to stop all components, execute stop-all.sh script. You also have the option of starting and stopping components using the Big Insights console. Please continue to the next part of this presentation.